What's going on, guys? In today's video we're going to be unboxing and installing a pedal commander in my 2021 Range Rover. Well, these come in a pretty nice box. It's a hard plastic, the clear cover on top. Open this way. Slide that off. We have a installation manual here. It's pretty simple. Alright, here we have the actual unit and harness. And as you can see, this is Bluetooth capable. I've already downloaded the app, which I'll use when I'm setting this up. Has this little bracket here you can clip it into. We have some hook and loop. You can use that on the back of this thing or the bracket if you don't want to permanently attach it to the actual unit. Cable tie. And I'm guessing this is an alcohol swab just to clean the area before mounting that hook and loop on another cable tie. Alright, well, in the Range Rover we do have a little trim panel we need to move before we can get to the connector for the pedal, so let's get to work on that first. Alright, so we're out here in the garage with the Range Rover. I've got the doors open, and I've placed the key fob, as recommended, 35 feet away from the vehicle. This is to prevent any kind of transmittance or signal. So, got that at the other end of the house, and I'm going to show you what we need to remove to get access to the accelerator. Down here in the footwell, you see here is the accelerator, and the connections that we need to get to, they are hidden by this panel here. On most vehicles, this is just an open area. On your Range Rover, it's got a nice little panel to tuck everything up, and that will also make a great shelf for us to install the pedal commander so it's out of sight. And then we'll just, once we set up the Bluetooth, I will just adjust it via Bluetooth rather than having that gaudy looking little unit stuck here or whatever. I didn't mind in my Raptor, but on here I'd like it to look a little bit cleaner. So there's three bolts we need to remove. I'm going to show you here. One here by the OBD2 port. One here in the middle. And a final one over here towards the center of the vehicle. We're going to use a 7mm socket to remove these. I do recommend a ratcheting screwdriver rather than a ratchet, just because the angle is a bit awkward. So let's get to work on removing those. With those three bolts removed, we can now gently pull on this trim panel and it will slide right out. As you can see, there is a LED for the footwell plugged right in here. You can remove it and remove this if you want, or you can just set it aside. Looking up in here, you will find the pedal and the connector we're going to be moving. So this, we're going to unplug. Then we're going to plug one end of the harness into this piece and the other end of this piece. And then we can work on managing our cables and getting it tucked up in there. Unplugging the OEM connector is as easy as squeezing the tab on top and pulling. And it comes right out. Now we're going to take the harness from the pedal commander and plug the female end onto the male end here, and then from this harness plug the female into the male end connector of the pedal commander harness. That clicks in, and then you can lock in with that red tab there. And then we're going to simply take our other end and plug it into this end. Now, I'm going to get these wires managed so they're not dangling all over the place and they look nice and tucked up. That I'm going to do off camera. Alright, so what I've ultimately decided to do is to, after hooking the pedal commander harness into the connector for the accelerator, I've routed the cables forward here, around here, up behind the dash here to keep them out of the way of the brake and the accelerator. I don't want them the wires getting tangled in that. Routed around here and then out the side here, and I'm gonna first set this up with set up the Bluetooth, obviously, so I don't have to actually control it with this. And then I'm just going to simply tuck this behind this trim panel out of sight and get you a better shot of that so it will not be visible. And obviously I will put the panel back here and reconnect this LED harness here. So let's set up the Bluetooth. Now that the pedal commander is installed, we can bring the key back. I've retrieved that, and we're going to set up the Bluetooth. Like I said, I've already downloaded the app here, so we're going to turn the ignition on. All right. And let's hit connect. All right, we're going to add another pedal commander, and we are scanning. Enter code behind your pedal commander. So let me enter that. All right. Wants me to enter a name for the pedal commander. We'll just say, not now. Call it Range Rover. Simple enough. Save. All right. It appears we're saved. Let's see if changing it here changes it here. Select Eco, Do you wish to engage eco mode? Change. Yep, went to eco mode. Let's go to city. All right, well, Bluetooth appears to be set up, so I'm going to tuck this back into the panel here, reinstall this trim panel, and then we'll give it a test. This LED just clips back in place, nice and easy. Then we're going to raise this up into place. And then what you'll notice is there's these tabs sticking out that you're going to fit in the respective slots here. There you go, there's one. There's another one back there. Hopefully you can see that. And then there's another one over to the side here. But just don't force it. It should go in without too much trouble. See if I can arrange a light so you can see what's kind of happening. Alright. I'm going to set that last one. There we go. Alright. Now we're going to just use our ratcheting screwdriver to put these bolts back in. I'm kind of just going by feel right now. Alright, that one's in. If I have it ratcheting the correct direction, it might be easier. And one final one. Alright, after some contorting and twisting, we got all of the bolts back in for that panel. And as you can see, it's a nice clean install. You can't see anything, including the commander. It's hidden behind this panel here. And we should have the Bluetooth all set up, so let's take it on a test drive. Alright, moment of truth. I have had issues with the pedal commander in my Raptor causing a bunch of warning lights, so hopefully that won't be the case here. We'll see what happens. So far, looks so good. All right. Alrighty. Let's pull up the Pedal Commander app. Alright, we're connected. So, at least in my Raptor, it was very touchy. Like, Sport Plus was honestly undrivable. So I kept it in city, maybe +1 or so. But let's just go into just plain city as we back out and see how this thing is. Alright, so the whole point of the pedal commander is to get rid of the laggy response in modern accelerators that aren't, like, they don't control the throttle with a cable. And a lot of them, there's this lag built in, and it's to help with fuel economy, is my understanding. That way you're not racing off the line. There's some give in the pedal so that you're not just taking off every time you go anywhere. And pedal commander helps get rid of that and allows you to choose how much of that you want. So let's pull up. It does feel like it is definitely working. It is definitely less of a lag when I'm pressing the accelerator. It's hard to portray this in a video because you're not using my foot, obviously. But there, with the Range Rover, especially this P400, it's the mild hybrid one. There's I imagine the supercharged V8 does not have this issue, but there's definitely some dead space in the pedal where it just kind of sits there and does nothing. So let's just go ridiculous here and put it in Sport Plus, and I'm just gonna tap the throttle a little bit. It definitely responds quicker. That was just a little bit of pressure on the accelerator. Now it's not as dramatic as it was in my Raptor. That thing was pretty wild, but it's definitely better, and it definitely lets me appreciate this vehicle better. Whew. Oh yeah, that's much better. Right now we're in Sport Plus, and you can really set this just 1,000 different ways. So we can decrease it down to like a Sport negative, up to -4. If you can, I don't know if you can see this or not in the GoPro, but yeah, I'll probably go somewhere in the high cities or low sport with mine. It just feels like the perfect range. Well, easy install, looks clean, and it works. So I'm pretty happy. I will say with my Raptor, the first one I installed, I had some issues. I followed the directions to the T, but I was on a trip, and out of nowhere, like, the whole dash lit up like a Christmas tree. And the Raptor went into limp mode, and I had to get off the highway at like 13 miles an hour. And so I ended up unplugging the pedal commander, letting it sit for a few minutes, and it went away. I returned the pedal commander, and I want to say like 6 months later or so, I kept reading reviews of people having success with them, so I figured I'd try it again. So I bought another one, installed it, and it worked perfectly. So I don't know, maybe the truck was just being weird. But my whole point with that story is, hopefully it won't give me any trouble on this. If it does, it's not gonna ruin anything. It's not gonna void your warranty. You just unplug it, let the vehicle sit. If you absolutely have to, disconnect the negative cable from the battery to reset everything, and you should be good. And then try to install it again. I believe most people's issues with installing these is the part where you move your keys away from the vehicle, but I definitely took that into account. So anyway, pedal commander on the 2021 Range Rover Westminster HSE. This is the P400. Sadly not the P525, maybe one day. But anyway, thanks for watching. Let me know if you have any questions.